Shalom. Real quick, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Give me a second. I'm just watching something here. Okay, all right. Okay, anyway, I was just watching something. I got it on Alex Jones' channel. Some Jake stabbed up this Ukrainian woman. It's homeless Jake. They're trying to demonize Jake, you know, to justify Trump kicking out Negroes. They've got to kick them out. Anyway, I'm sorry. The title of this video is Giving All Praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakakodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Make this super duper quick. Anyway, the title of this video, the title I'm going to give this video is "The Strangers in Isaiah 14:1 Are Israelites, Dumbass." So what I'll do is I'll read this. I'll bring it back. I didn't watch the whole thing. You can't even watch all videos now. It's so much stuff coming up. So this is from a video that was put up by GMS South Carolina 08, which is the elder out of South Carolina, of course, which he goes by the name of Manatazakba. And so it says comment on Noam Chomsky, how being black in America became criminal. And it's good. I saw some of it. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, but I saw some of it. So you got to watch the whole video. It was put up, I believe, yesterday. Anyway, so this is Shandell Walker, and she says, and this is what happens when you jump around. You know, them what do you call it? Them hop around Israelites. Jump into different camps and getting what you do is you get confused. If you really don't understand the scripture, you have and you believe GMS has the truth, you have no business going to IUIC, ICBK, any of them. But now if you are grounded and settled pursuant to Colossians, then you can go to any of them other camp videos, and you can maneuver your way through it. So I don't know what the deal is, but I believe that she listened to GMS videos and GOCC and IUIC or whatever, Sakari, whatever, Genesis, whatever. So it says here, don't you have to cleave on to Israel to become a servant or a handmaid? First of all, Isaiah 14:1, when it speaks about the strangers cleaving onto Israel, the strangers are Israelites. And if you was a scholar, you can see that very easily. I bet you if I put this in the chat GBT, they'll probably get it right. So no, you don't. First of all, you don't understand. You answered a question that you're not qualified to ask because you don't understand the scriptures. Don't you have to cleave on to Israel to become a servant or a handmaid? Meaning if they don't cleave unto us, they ain't going to become slaves. The stranger in Isaiah 14:1 are the Israelites cleaving on to other Israelites that have this truth so they can learn this truth. That's what it's talking about. So now let me do this. Let me bring it back.
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom to the hopefully elect. All right, this video is going to be entitled Slavery of the Nations is a Punishment, Not a Reward. Nations, or the slavery of the nations is a punishment, not a reward. All right, now from the comment board here, I got this. I got into a little short back and forth with some idiot woman. Okay, and I guess I really shouldn't really get mad at her, But at the end of the day, your women just need to
I'm
be
gonna
quiet.
be mad at her because she got no business. First of all, you're a woman. You got no business asking a stupid question. You should watch the videos. Quit jumping around. But like I said, this is for the men only. The flock of my pastor are men. I haven't gone to that in a while. I'm gonna go to that and I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna read it in the King James, as I always say, the King James. Then I'm gonna go to maybe the AMP and the NLT. Let's see what it says. Ezekiel 34. Give you the verse in a second. It's like 31st. It's like the last verse, last two verses. Yeah, it's the last verse. Let me read the 30th. Let me read the 31st. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your power, saith the Lord, the Most High. So this is not for, although you're going to have some women that's going to follow the prophets, right? And there's some of them that are just confused. She's obviously confused. Because what video did she watch where anybody from GMS said that strangers are talking about other nations? So she's obviously jumping around. So when you read the flock, let me do this. The flock represents, let me do this. Let me just do this. Congregation means with the flock. I'll try to look that up too. I just want to look up the word flock. Flock. Yeah, the flock are cattle, but we are cattle. You know, like Yahushua was a sheep. Feed my sheep. Yahushua told Peter to feed my sheep. He wasn't talking about going on the Lord's farm and feeding the sheep. He's talking about the Israelites. But the sheep are the men. It starts with the men. The women tag along. Small cattle, sheep, goats, flocks. So let's look up the word congregation. Let's see how we're going to do this. Because they might not break it down the right way. I should go. I'll do it this way. Congregation meaning. No. Do it again. Congregation meaning. Oh boy. Let me do it this way. I'm a lousy speller. Congregation meaning. A group of people assembled for religious worship. But the actual root word means con, meaning with, and gration is the flock. All right? Let me try it this way. So I broke it down to you, but they're not breaking it down to you right. Let me go to Etamon Online. Okay, here we go. Etamon Online. See, if IUIC did this stuff, they would be going the right direction. But like I said, we believe they sold the fuck out. congregation. They ain't giving you the right. They ain't breaking it down to you right. Congregation should literally mean with the flock. And who are the flock of the Most High? The men. The 1690s, one of the Christian denominations built on congregationalism. 1716, the system of church government based on autonomy of the individual congregation. See, congregational. Greg supposed to mean flock. The word flock. Let me try it this way. Let me go to the word Greg. Greg. We try it this way. Bear me for a minute, y'all. How the fuck did I get astronaut? This is online bullshit. But I'm telling you what it means. Try one more time. Okay, it's not going to come up. But Greg means flock. Congregation means with the flock. The flock of the Most High's, pastor, are men. Men, the sheep are the men of Israel. So let's come on back over here. So let's listen to some more.
Quiet. As we told you before, and what's going on too is a lot of you Israelites, you watch different groups and then you get confused. Then you bring your confusion over.
But that's what women do. You come on my page. Don't come on my. You women don't come on my page asking me no questions. Ask somebody else in GMS. And I'm not knocking the ones that are truly in order. You know, the few women that are in order. I'm not knocking you. If you really have a sincere question, don't be coming up in here. Don't be bringing up that brown sugar up in here. Inside joke I had that was there. I had to take it. Don't be coming up here with. And I know you ain't down with no one camp. You jumping around.
Our comment board, and you start asking us these questions, and then we give you the answer, and you act like the answer.
And what she did was she brought confusion. That's what she did. That's why I call them chaos goblins. And y'all motherfuckers, all of y'all are chaos, even the righteous ones. You're all chaos goblins.
Not good enough. Well, if you knew, you wouldn't be asking.
Oh, F to her, man. I ain't gonna listen. Good. Goodbye. You don't gotta listen. I put my videos up. If nobody listens, that's all right. So when you get caught out there, you should have watched the video. We're only dealing with the men, and we're only dealing with sincere men that are of the elect, potentially of the elect. Like this big head clown, Deacon Malachi. He's all fucked up. And Most High gonna kick your ass too for blindly following Bishop Nate.
So, you know, at the end of the day.
And we all know Esau getting ready to get his ass whipped. Good. He gonna get beat. He gonna get beat down. He gonna get beat down. That red nigga's gonna get stomped.
We make videos and we prove everything that we say. Really, the proof of what's asked is already in the video. But she asked anyway, so let's just go into it. Now, this is from the video I did last night, Noam Chomsky, how being black in America became criminal. And somebody named Shondell Walker says, don't you have to cleave on to Israel to become a servant or handmaid? Now just think about that. And we
You
know
are totally out of order coming on our page with that nonsense, man. A more sensible question would be, who are the it's a more sensible question would be, who are the strangers in Isaiah 14:1? You assuming that the strangers are other nations because you're not a scholar. I'm be using that term a lot, that phrase, because you're not a scholar. That's a title right there. Because you're not a scholar. ...
know that this is being taught. This is being taught by groups like GOCC, and you hear Israelites say this dumb shit all the time. That you gotta. There's a literal teaching out there that the heathen nations, right? Those of them that repent, they get to be our servants in the kingdom of heaven. And that's fucking stupid because slavery.
They're gonna be fucking slaves, nigga. And that word, let's go to it. Let's go to the Hebrew. Let's go to Isaiah. Most High gonna kick your ass, you other camps, because we got to do all these extra videos because of the confusion that you demons bring from the different camps. These fake ass Israelites. I'm so excited I don't even know where the hell I am. Oh, let me see. Okay, I'm sorry. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Servants and handmaids. Let's look them words up. By the way, the seven taught that the strangers are other nations, including Ariah. They all went off. That's why we're the top head. We're the heads. We're the heads. And I say that humbly. The people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them, shall possess them in the land of Yahweh. Let's look up the word servants. The word is ibad, and it means what? Slave. Slave, that's what it means. Let's look up servants. Let's look up the word handmaids. Slave girl. Why do you think Esau demonized us? Because they know they're going down based on what we've been saying in the scriptures. I'm gonna give. So that's it. And then you know what I'm gonna do? Let me look up the word captive. Take them captives. I guess they're gonna voluntarily be captives. The word there is Shabbat, to take captive, captive, to lead to captivity, to be taken captive. Another way of saying it, you're going into slavery. Right? So come on back. Let's come on back. Servant and handmaids, and they say so captive, whose captive they were still captives under Esau to this day. And they shall rule, have rulership over, not equal, their oppressors. Let's look up the word oppressors. The word there is nagash. To press, drive. Like drive mean to push you. Like to push somebody off a mountain. You drive them off a mountain. To exact, right, to take from them. Driver, taskmaster, ruler, oppressor, tyrant. We're going to be tyrants. So that kills that BS that the G unit says about was that Zephaniah Zephaniah 2:11, I think it is. That they ain't gonna be, we're gonna be nice to them. We ain't gonna be nice to them. We're gonna kick them in the ass. We're gonna have our foot in their ass sideways. Tyrant, lord, exactor of tribute, to be hard pressed. So we're gonna put the squeeze on them. So let's come on back. Give me a second here. Okay, let me cut this. Give me a second, y'all. Let me cut this. Okay, we're back where we supposed to be. I don't need this garbage no more. Well, it's not garbage, because, brother, this is garbage. Okay. Let's come back over here.
Is a punishment. It's not a result of you repenting. You know, we teach that the Israelites, salvation is only for the Israelites. But other groups like to say that the nations, they can be saved too. They can be saved.
No, they can't. No, they cannot. What do you mean saved? They ain't gonna be beamed up into a ship. Not one. There ain't no nation gonna be saved. Matter of fact, Israel's not gonna be saved. The only ones that's gonna be saved are the elect of Israel.
To be,
and I can't wait either.
Our slaves. Okay, so what's going to happen to the other slaves, to the other nations then? I guess you saying they going to go to hell, and the ones that repent, they get to be our slaves. That don't make no fucking sense, man.
First of all, there's no such thing as hell. Let's go back to IUIC. Watch what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to do to the IUIC for mass confusion they putting out there among the Israelites, man. Next thing they're going to see the small hats are their friend. Probably get a reward by Netanyahu. Yes, Nate, you get this award of bravery and being a good Israelite. He fucking sold out till he proves otherwise.
It doesn't make any sense. And I already did videos on this in the past. So I answered back to her. So she said, don't you have to cleave on to Israel to become a servant or a handmaid? I answered back and said, no, it's a punishment. If you're going to be my servant, you don't have a choice in the matter. And you listen to someone who broke down Isaiah 14 wrong. And we know that. This is Isaiah 14 verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And I said, the strangers here are Israelite foreigners like us who were not born in Israel. I should have went back and changed it. Those of us who were not born in Israel. For example, the Gentiles or Israelite foreigners, they wasn't, the Most High, remember in the scriptures, the Most High said, them that are not a people. Them that were not a people are the Israelite foreigners. Let's go there. Let me read the rest of it. I said, Psalms 69 verse 8, it says, I am become a stranger unto my brethren and an alien unto my mother's children. You've been watching the wrong Israelite group. And that's the truth.
And stay watching them and stay with them and follow them. Don't come around us. You're not welcome anymore. You know, like the song goes, you ain't welcome anymore.
You've been watching the wrong group. They taught you wrong. Okay? Because first when
But that's her fault for following them. That's in Ephesians. Was that Ephesians 4 and 11 on down? You know, whenever you win the doctrine, who was supposed to set, pursuant to Ephesians 4, who was supposed to set things in order? The generals, the bishops, the deacons, the priests, the chief high priest? No, the apostles. That's what the scripture says, man. The scripture says they're going to bring everything. The apostles going to bring everything, and the prophets going to bring everything to perfection. So here you are jumping around from camp to camp. Don't come around us. You're not welcome anymore. Don't bring your ass around here.
you read Isaiah 14, let's go there real quick.
Because I'm in the spirit where I want to kick a woman's fucking head off, which I'm not going to do. But I want to do that. I want to spin back. I had a sizzling left hook, and I had a sizzling spinning wheel kick too. This white boy, we was in a tournament, and I beat this guy up. I hit him with a spinning wheel kick, and a white boy came up to me and said, "I'll fucking pay you, dude. I'll fucking pay you, dude." I said, "Pay me for what?" "Just don't hit me with that fucking spinning back kick, dude." I remember that shit. I feel sorry for the dude. He said, "I'll fucking pay you, dude."
And we broke this down many times, but yet you Israelites, you don't listen to the 100% truth. You listen to your favorite group, and they break the scripture down to you wrong. And
then you run back to us. Stop fucking coming to us. Stop fucking around, just coming around here.
That leads you wrong. This is why your understanding is fucked up. Or that you don't.
You ain't gonna get it anyway because you're not of the elect. You're not of the elect. Because you wouldn't be asking a stupid question like that. You wouldn't be answering a stupid question. And to show you that you're not sincere, the right question to answer was, let me get an understanding. Are the strangers other nations, or are the strangers Israelites? Then when we said the strangers are Israelites, then you don't have to ask this question. You are assuming, you making an ass out of yourself, not out of me. You are assuming that the strangers are other nation. That's why you pose a question the way you did. So you a devil. You a black devil.
Don't have no understanding. Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Who are the strangers here? The strangers are the Israelite foreigners. We became strange. We were cast off into all nations. Our forefathers were exiled out of the land. And the Most High said he would make the Israelites of old, during the time of Acts, you see that, he would make them jealous by those that are not a people. Now let's read verse 2. It says, and the people shall take them. What people and what them? The people of the house of Israel are going to take the other nations. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place in the house of Israel, shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay? So this is what we're going to do to the other nations. Verses 1 and 2 is not a continuation of one another. Okay? Verse 1 is his own verse. You have to remember, and you can't always read the Bible like a novel. Sometimes, you can read it that way, but you got to have the understanding. Now, what happened?
You can't understand it anyway because it's not given. Your eyes are not open to understand it. Read Acts 8, the Ethiopian eunuch. By the way, that was an Israelite. No, it said he was an Ethiopian. No, he's an Israelite.
Let's go here. Deuteronomy 32. And I'm going to say 29, but it might not be 29. Deuteronomy 32. And just bear with me here. Yeah, I'm gonna start at 15. It says, "But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxing fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to the Most High, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared. For your fathers feared not, Of the rock that begat thee thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten the Most High that formed thee. And the Lord saw it, and when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not the Most High. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with their foolish nation." Who was this? Who were them that were not a people? That was Israelite foreigners. We were cast off in
That's correct. Now, the 7 used to teach that I was talking about the other nations. When we did the research, the scriptures say in Job, great men are not always wise. What is that, 32:9? I'm not going to go to it. But they went off on certain things. They went off. They were on point. They went off about 10% of what we teach you. About 10% of it they went off on. The high priest Ariah and them, they went off on. But Abba Bivens went off too on certain things that the spirit changed. Came through Ariah and 7 to get it the right way. When Abba came on the scene, he wasn't teaching about UFOs. When High Priest Ariah and King Mashar and Yaikwab, High Priest Yaikwab, you had the gathering of the 7, which was a bunch of guys coming in and they would fall out and new guys would come in. And the thing about the spaceships, the UFOs, the spirit was working through Yeshaya and Gazak. And the heads couldn't see it. The top three couldn't see it. Then eventually they saw it, And then the spirit, showed them 2-3 scriptures. Then the spirit was working on us. I found certain scriptures. Other men found certain scriptures. I got a whole bunch of scriptures on the spaceships. So, that's how the spirit works.
all nations under heaven.
So Abba, Elijah didn't have the whole truth. He had a lot of it, but he didn't have the whole truth. We got the whole truth, 100%. We can say we got 100%. Abba Bivens couldn't say that he got 100%. The 7 couldn't say they got 100%. They never said that. But we can say we got 100% truth. IUIC, ISBK, they can't say that. Genesis, they can't say it. They can't say they got 100% truth. Wi-Fi can't say it. None of them can say it. Have they ever said it? They ain't gonna dare say it. They ain't gonna dare say it.
Heaven, and we became likened unto not a people. 2 Peter, and just bear with me here if I may have this right. No, it's 1 Peter. Excuse me. 1 Peter 2:8. Hopefully I got it right. Yeah, 1 Peter 2, verse 8. Listen, it says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." So who's a chosen generation and a
I'm sorry. Good precept.
Generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
You know what that means? When you come into this truth, you learn it, you eat the road, then you go out and teach Israel. That's why we out there on the highways and the byways. That's why we all over YouTube and the web and so forth. Because we got it, so we're showing the praise. We're praising. It says, show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. So the Most High is not dealing with a guy that learns this and he just knows that he's Israel. He ain't out there teaching. He's just a spectator. Most High ain't dealing with him. Every member of, I don't give if you, day one, you in the camp, you in the GMS camp, day one, you should be doing videos. You've been in this thing for a week, you should have had a couple of about 3-4 videos up already. So we ain't playing no more. You can't come in and then 6 months later you wonder what the fuck you gonna do. You get back out in the crowd. What do you say? Stay out the crowd. Inside joke.
So who's a chosen generation and a royal priesthood, a holy nation? That's all Israelites.
We are.
Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of the Most High, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. These are all Israelites. And you find it out becomes more obvious when you go to the previous chapter and you read Peter 1:1, who the whole book is addressed to. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. How did they become not a people? Because we were cast off into all nations and we became what? Gentiles or Israelite foreigners. NLT says, this letter is from Peter, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach. I am writing to the Most High's chosen people who are living as foreigners in the provinces of Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. And when you read these other translations, the NIV, to the Most High's elect, exiles scattered throughout the provinces. The ESV, to those who are elect exiles of the dispersion in Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. You see that? And then further to that, if you're still not convinced, you can look up the word scattered right here. And then give.
Yes, also Hosea, Romans 9 quotes Hosea. And go back to Hosea. Not a people. What is it? La'ah, Aimnya, not my people. Lo ami, no people. And a foolish nation, because they didn't accept the Most High. That's who the strangers are.
Gives you the word diaspora. This is what it says. A scattering, a dispersion of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. See that? That's who the strangers and foreigners and Gentiles are. Dispersion, i.e., and concretely, the converted Israelite resident in Gentile countries which were scattered abroad. But we became not a people, right? Because we were cast off in all nations, and then we lost our heritage.
Also, proselytes. That's in Matthew 23, because you had the wicked scribes and Pharisees trying to make proselytes newcomers into the faith. They knew that they were Israelites, but they were trying to get them to kind of join their circle. Also, that's in Acts chapter 2. Proselytes, Greeks and Arabians, Elam, India. So you got Christians saying, no, those are all the people. No, those are Israelites coming from other land masses, geographical locations. So they don't even understand that.
Heritage. If you go to Hosea 1, (1 and 10), it says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot."
Beautiful, you brought it out, because it's going to lead you back to that. That's why it said in Deuteronomy 32, a foolish nation.
Not be measured.
That foolish nation were the Israelites.
Nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, "Ye are."
That place is America. That place is America. That place is America. That's where it didn't say places. So you got Nate going on, we got 12 tribes worldwide, 12 tribes worldwide, 12 tribes world. We got to go to every Israelite on the planet Earth, and we got to go to them face to face. Do you know that there's almost 9 billion people on the planet Earth? How the fucking 10,000 dudes with purple face go face to face with 9 billion people? The focus is here in America, man. You just go there because you like the jet set. We used to call you Jet Set Nate.
Not my people. There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the
One head is David,
land.
King David.
For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
A lot of them, you can ask this guy, what's his name, God Logic, and maybe Vocab should know, but Lord God Logic, what is it meant by Jezreel? He might get it right, he might not get it right. I don't know. Then you might go to Deuteronomy 32, which is the Song of Moses. Deuteronomy 32 is known as the Song of Moses, not Exodus 15. It's Deuteronomy 32. It mentions that, what is that, in Revelation 15, I believe it is, if not 16. It said they shall sing the Song of Moses. The Song of Moses is Deuteronomy 32. All right? So you take them to Deuteronomy 32 and it says, Jeshurun wax fat and kick. What does Jeshurun mean? Ask these questions, Christians. Don't let them ask. Don't let them control the narrative. You control the narrative. If they got a problem with that, then you don't deal with them. So we're controlling the narrative. You're a guest. We're the host. You're the guest. A host of a show, the Tonight Show, if a guest act unruly, he kicks him off. The commercial come, he's out. He don't got to say why he kicked him out.
See? And let's get one more quick scripture here too. So all those showing you that the Israelites became not a people. Okay? We was supposed to lose our heritage, to be cast off in all nations under heaven, and we became not a people. Them that were not a people now become the people of the living God. Right? Let's get one more here, contradicting. Let's see here. Yeah. So the Most High said he was going to provoke us to jealousy by them which were not a people, right? Now this is Acts 13 and 42. And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. What Gentiles was this? If you go back to the book of Acts chapter 2, it tells you who those Gentiles were. Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now, when the congregation was
not really good, but there's a difference. The ones in Acts 2 were Israelites that were scattered in different land areas on the planet. The biggest group was the Israelites of Alexandria, Egypt. When they came, everybody, here come the Alexandrian Jews. So in Acts 13, starting from the 40th verse, is Israelites that didn't know that, like give you an example, a bunch of Corneliuses, because when he came up under his family, he wasn't raised up as an Israelite, but he kind of said, I know I got to be one of these Israelites. And the Most High used him as a, an ideologue to bring in the Gentiles, which are Israelites. So these Gentiles in Acts 13 are like Cornelius. They didn't know that they were Israelites, but they kind of coming into Israel. And the Jews were the Israelites that knew that they were Israelites that did not want these ones to come in. That goes back to make you jealous by a foolish nation. That's what it's talking about. So the Jews in Acts 2, all the Jews in Acts 2, from Cappadocia to Elam to Arabia, Greeks and Arabian, we do hear them in the language that we were born. Those are all Israelites that lived out. They knew that they were Israelites. They were keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. These Gentiles in Acts chapter 13 were Corneliuses. I'll just put it to you that way. Y'all got to know the difference. That's why it says in Acts 6, it says the Grecians. When you read the word Grecians, it's talking about Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, but they were born outside of the land. The parents had the children, and they were teaching them, circumcise them, but they were doing everything outside of the land, and they would come pursuant to Deuteronomy 16 and 16 3 times in a year. they would come to Jerusalem. So there's a difference between them, Acts 2, and Cornelius and Grecians, and Galatians 3, where it says Greeks. Those were Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites that were coming like us. We would all be considered, the elder that's teaching, he would be considered a Greek, not a Grecian. Now, if he was raised up as an Israelite, his parents were Israelites, and they were teaching about Abba and all that, and he said, I want to join GMS or whatever, he would be considered a Grecian. So Manatazakba would be considered a Greek, like Cornelius, coming into the fold. I would be pretty much. My parents told me that I was Israelites anyway. So when it was brought to me, I kind of knew. Because I'm from New York. I'm from New York. We know everything. But I heard this when I was a kid. Matter of fact, the Rothschilds, the Illuminati. My stepfather, he had all that Illuminati shit. When I was 11, 12 years old, he used to play them cassettes, those real to real cassettes. And I used to go to my sisters and my brothers, and I used to put the sign up that he's crazy. I said, this guy's fucking crazy. That's all he listens to. But when I grew up, we talk about it. Like everything he said every time I see a so-called, the spirit come on me and say, what did he say? Stolen birthright. He said, every time I see him, the spirit come to me and say, stolen birthright, stolen birthright, stolen birthright. So I used to think he was fucking crazy. And then I came in, but I already knew about Israel. But back then, the group that they were a part of, or the how can I say this? Yeah, the group that they were a part of, they were out of Mount Vernon congregation. If y'all from New York, y'all know what I'm talking about. Nate knows what I'm talking about, because he went to the congregation trying to convert them. I did too. But anyway, even before that, they would teach that when I would ask who's the white man, they would say Japhet. So back in the day, in the 70s and the early 80s, the other Israelite groups used to say the white man are the sons of Japhet. That's where Ron Dalton, Moses Levy, which I ain't got no problem with that brother. He an Israelite. He just don't have the whole. He got certain truth, but he don't have the whole truth. He doesn't have the whole truth. He'll go with the sons of Japhet, the white people are sons of Japhet, because he doesn't know. The first time I heard that the white man's Edomites is one west under Arian them, and they would break it down. They would go to Obadiah. When they went to Obadiah, I said, them are the Edomites, man. I went to Genesis 25, Obadiah, and went to other scriptures. I said, them are the Edomites. There ain't no damn Japhet, sons of Japhet. Them are the Edomites. So this guy doesn't know. But he's, like I said, Ron Dalton is sincere. He's just sincerely wrong. He got certain things, man. He'd be a great asset if he came around. Hey, ain't no sense. You got these guys talking about UFOs. You ain't on our level. You ain't on our level, kid. You ain't on our level. Now, I know Nate got nervous, Nate should have, and Nate said, I'll debate with you with the scriptures, which if you would have debated Nate with the scriptures, Nate would have whipped your ass. But Nate was afraid of this extra shit. I don't accept that extra biblical shit. You gonna bring the Kibra Neges? I said, I don't recognize that. Are we gonna bring this book? We're gonna bring the book of, which he reads out of the book of, what is it? The book of Yasha and the Jubilee book and all that. I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna stop it right in his track. I said, I don't accept that shit. I don't accept that. Okay? This is what it means to be grounded and settled. This is my third video. I didn't get up saying I'm gonna do 3 videos today. I did my walk. It was fucking raining. I had my fucking umbrella. Ain't nobody out there fucking walking. I did my walk. And I got home and I did my strength and conditioning, and I was playing music and shit. Hey, I was singing and working out. I worked out for I did my strength and conditioning for fucking 2 hours. I said I was going to do 3 sets. I wound up doing four sets and more reps. And I didn't drink, I didn't eat nothing, and I was working out in a fasted state. I wasn't getting tired. Every time I hit them weights, I was getting energized, man. So watch out. Watch out. I'm on fire.
Broken up. Many of the Jews.
When you work out, you want to punch somebody's head off. Or you want to kick somebody's head off. I want to hit a nigga with a left hook. When I work out, I want to hit a nigga with a left. I want to hit him with a sizzling left hook. Or a jumping, spinning wheel kick. And knock your fucking head off. That's the way I feel, which I'm not going to do. Because I have self-control.
Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of the Most High. But when the Jews saw the multitudes, they were filled with envy. So this is the Jews from...
You know why? Because they said these are not the Israelites. First of all, they got bald heads. They're not circumcised. They're eating pig. They're praying to a Greek god. You know, they got tattoos on them. They ain't got fringes on. So they basically of another. No, they're not of another. They're not of another nation. They are Israelites, but they were raised. They were raised by their parents not to be Israelites. Perfect example. Timothy's father was a Greek, meaning he was an Israelite in a Greek in a Gentile state of mind. His mother, and his grandmother, Eunice and Lois, they were Israelites. And so now part of being an Israelite that followed the laws, you ain't supposed to marry a heathen. So why would she marry a Greek? She didn't marry a Greek. She married an Israelite man that said, I ain't no damn Israelite. You niggas got uncles and daddies, your pops and your grandpops. They fought in World War II. Tell them that he's an Israelite. I know I'm American. You know them Negroes. You know them type of Negroes I'm talking about. I ain't no damn Hebrew Israelite. I ain't no Israelite. I'm a Baptist. You can't talk to them old Negroes. You know they got the flag up there, the crisply folded flag. You know, and they gave my stepfather when he died. They honored him. They gave him a crisply folded flag. Edomite gave it to him. This is for you. Gave it to my mother. This is for you. And then they had the fucking crispy folded flag in the house. You know, but anyway. You had my stepfather fought in World War II. He was out there in fucking Germany and shit, you know? And then he used to tell me stories that when the Germans used to fight against Esau, he said they only kill Edomites. If they saw GIs, they didn't touch them. They said, no, we ain't got no problem with y'all. Our war ain't between y'all. Now that camouflage thing, the real reason, he said the real reason why they had camouflage, because the white boys can put that brown stuff so they can look like Jake. It ain't had nothing to do with blending in the jungle. That's all bullshit. Because when you see the U.S. forces in World War II or whatever, the guy would look like a black guy from a distance. That's why they did it. Because every time they didn't have no makeup on, no fatigues on or whatever, or the brown polish or whatever, or green polish or whatever, they would just shoot him. They said, that's a white boy, shoot him. So the German white boys were killing the Edomite American white boys. So let's go.
From the Holy Land, right? Seeing the other Israelites being classified as Gentiles, but they were in fact Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. It said, but when the Jews saw the multitudes, they were filled with envy and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting.
Because these Jews in Acts 13, 40 on down, they didn't have no problem with the Jews that were living in other nations. They knew about the law of the stranger. They didn't have no problem with them.
And blaspheming.
They had problems with these ones that didn't look nothing like Israel. In other words, they were bald-headed, no beards, eating pork. They didn't have fringes on. They wasn't circumcised. They wasn't keeping the high holy days. So Israel redeemed them as y'all are not. We look at Jake like that. Y'all, the YNs. The YNs ain't Israelites. They're niggas. But deep down, the Israelites.
So they were filled with envy. You see? Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said it was necessary that the word of the Most High should first have been spoken to you, but seeing ye put it from you and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. Who are these Gentiles? They were Israelite foreigners, Jews out of different nations under heaven. For so hath the Lord commanded us, saying, I have set thee to be a light of the Gentiles, that thou shouldest be for salvation.
When it says a light unto the Gentiles, you got Vocab Malone and God Logic and the rest of them saying, see, a light unto the Gentiles. Those Gentiles were Israelites. For example, you go to Isaiah 11, a light unto the Gentiles. That's talking about Israelites in the Gentile state of mind.
Unto the ends of the earth. See? And when the Gentiles heard this, they were glad and glorified the word of the Lord. And as many as were ordained to eternal life believed. And who were these? They were all Israelites. If you go back to Acts, it tells you who they were. Who was in that multitude? Acts 2.
No, that wasn't them. Them Acts 2 is talking about Israelites that knew that they were Israelites. Acts 13 is talking about Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites coming back into the faith. They kept seeing these guys. Oh, Acts 17, when he's talking to the men of Athens, they wouldn't talking about they were Israelites, and Paul was trying to tell them that you the Israelites. Because they knew that there was a God, a supreme power over them, and the Apostle Paul told them who the God was. The God, he went into Yahushua, but he went into Yahweh. He explained the whole thing. Because as far as they were concerned, in Acts 17, they were Greeks. You know, they were Athenians. Basically, those were that's the black consciousness community today. You notice some black conscious guys, they ain't coming around to Israel. They'll have Israel as a guest. We're going to have a debate. They don't realize that you the Israelites, man. Well, I'm going to have a debate to show you that we're not the Israelites. I'm not going to deal with you, brother. If you can't see it, goodbye, I'm moving on. Apostle Paul said that about being ignorant. 1 Corinthians 14. He said in not too many words, if they're ignorant, leave them ignorant.
Messed up because they were called Gentiles. Acts 2 and 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. See that?
Right. That it says Jews. They knew that they were Israelites. Acts 13, 40 on down, they didn't know that they were Israelites. They were coming into the fold. They started recognizing the fact that they were the Israelites.
Down here, let's keep reading. It says, now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded.
And it's not like I'm mad at Elder Menatezakbar. He just off, but he'll he's just off. But we did go through this. I did say this sometimes. That's why you got to keep going through these scriptures. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 11 on down. It says matter of fact, let me go to it. That's why you got to keep going through you got to go through the basics. You got to keep analyzing stuff. A lot of these precepts that we bring out, y'all already know, but we got to keep bringing them out. Let me go to Ephesians 4 and 11. There we go. And we keep telling IUIC they go off, and if they sincere, they'll say, you know what, we going off. We gotta change this shit up, and we gotta acknowledge the GMS are the true men of the Lord, and hopefully they'll allow us in their congregation. So it says, Ephesians 4 and 11, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers for the perfecting of the saints. So the fact that the elder Menatezakbar said that those Gentiles in Acts 13 are the same Gentiles, the same people in Acts 2 is no, that's not the case. That's not the case. That's why in Acts 6, just Acts 6, when it says Grecians When you read that word Grecians, you know that it's talking about Israelites born outside of the land, knowing that they were Israelites. They got circumcised as sons, and kept the high holy days. These people in Acts 13 didn't. They were eating pork. They had tribal marks, whatever the case may be. There's a difference. Okay, the people in Acts 2 are different from the people in Acts 13, but they were both Israelites. The people in Acts 2 knew that they were Israelites. The people in Acts 13 didn't know. That's why Paul was expounding upon them that they were the Israelites. And the Jews that knew they were Jews hated the fact that they were getting it. Yeah, but they got it too because they're Israelites. Ephesians, what is that? Ephesians 2, I'm going to go there in a minute. What is that? Ephesians 2 and 11, is it? The Commonwealth. It said, for the perfecting of the saints. So that's what we're doing right now. For the working of the ministry, for the edification of the body. That's why we got to keep going through this. Because this is you're not being perfected. Now you perfected because you see the video. If you see the video, if anybody sees the video, Elder Menachzak didn't see it, let him know. Let him know to hard to the video. You should watch the video. So, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna watch it. I mean, it's hard to watch all these videos. It's hard to watch all these videos. There's so many videos going out. Sometimes you watch a little 15-minute video, you might jump around. It's hard for you to watch and sit down and watch all these different videos. And that's the way you're supposed to be. Okay, where did I say I was gonna go? Okay, Ephesians 2. Right, not of works, lest any man should boast. When you say you got to keep them laws, no, it ain't about keeping the laws. You don't dump the laws on them. You get them to the fact that they know they're Israelite, and then you get them to starting to read the scriptures, and after a while they'll start to keep the laws. Okay, wherefore 11, remember that ye being in time past Gentiles. That's talking about Israelites that came into the fold. Now they know that the Israelites in the flesh who were called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision, and the flesh made by hands. The uncircumcision were the Gentiles in Acts 13. The Israelites in Acts 2 were circumcised, but they got circumcised outside the land, and the flesh made by hands, that at that time you were without the Messiah. Right, because he came for the Jews first, right? That's Romans 2. That's also in Galatians 3. Being aliens from the commonwealth of, like Cornelius was an alien until he came in. The angel said, you can come in. And strangers, because they are strangers. When you go to the Old Testament in Hebrew, the word is gar, right? Not nikar. From the covenants of promise. Now this is because Christians say, "Oh, that's talking about other nations." Well, wait a minute, no, because it said covenants. What are the covenants? The old covenant, which was Israel, and then the new covenant, which was to everybody. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 31 and 31. Let's go to Hebrews, where Paul reiterates Jeremiah in Hebrews 8 and 6. And where does it say Gentiles? It's not in there. It's not in there. This is why I say call the cops on the Christian, because they bug outs. They bug outs. They don't know the scriptures. How do we know they don't know the scriptures? They don't know nothing about the prophecies. That's why when God Logic pulled out Isaiah 19, was it 23, 24? The brothers from Ram, he cut them with them scriptures so bad that they didn't say nothing. He left them speechless. They're looking stupid, man. And anything that you bring to us, we're going to eat it up, and we're going to perfect it, and we're going to throw it back on your ass. You're just helping us. You are just helping the juggernauts. That's all you're doing. You're just helping the juggernauts. We're going to eat what you got, and we're going to use it against you. Spiritual Aikido. Okay, so now let's come back over here.
because that every man heard and speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these we speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born? Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia.
See, the thing that they didn't understand, these people in Acts 2, they didn't know about the Messiah. That's why the apostles spoke in different languages, because they were bringing forth the Messiah to them. They were talking about this. You got to go deeper. The Messiah came.
Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, and Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful work of the Most High. So this is the same people that made up those different multitudes right there. That multitude is the same group later on who are being called what? Gentiles. And if you can get it, you can get it. And if you can't get it, then that's your problem. So when we go here, Salakia, when we go back to Isaiah 14 and 1, that's those strangers that were mentioned here. Isaiah 14 and 1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. See? And some of those strangers, we came out of that. So I answered.
All of us are that came. When we heard the seven, we were strangers until we saw it, came into the light. And we cleaved unto this to the point where the seven are no longer in the fold, in the work. So we came in, as the scriptures say. Others have entered into thy labor. All right? Let me bring that up. I believe that's Matthew. I'm not sure. Give me a second. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me do this. We have entered into their labors. Bible. It's going to give it to me real quick. John 4. Okay, it was John. I sent you to reap that. I got to read the whole. Let me do this. King James. I sent you to reap that wherefore ye bestowed no labor. Other men labored, and ye are entered into their labors. So what labors are we entered into? The seven. They did their job. Some of them passed on. You got Ariel Shaw. They old. You got Lahab out there. You got, I don't know what's the deal with Shire and Gazak. But they ain't on video. You can't put in Gazak and a bunch of videos come up. Gazak's official YouTube page or Yeshaya's official YouTube page. So we were the ones that entered into their labors. We're the authorities now. That's why when Gazak said, I'm back, to all you other camps got to come together under me, ain't nobody paid you no mention. We grown ass men. I'm going to come up under you, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You got to wait until the missile comes because you're going to eat one because you're not doing the work. You're not doing the work, man, because you was wicked from the jump. Come on back. You women, learn how to keep your fucking mouth shut. And stay away from the comment board. Because she didn't come sincere. Don't come on my page. swindle walker. Don't come on my page. You're not invited. Unless you repent.
Back, she said, don't you have to cleave onto Israel to become a servant or handmaid? No, you saying that based off of a false breakdown. No, it's a punishment. If you're going to be my servant, you don't have a choice in the matter, and you listen to someone who broke down Isaiah 14 wrong. Right? And then I quoted Isaiah 14:1. I said, the strangers here are Israelite foreigners like
She did that because she's wicked. She's wicked as hell.
us, which I meant to say, who were not born in Israel. Psalm 69:8, I am become a stranger unto my brethren and an alien unto my mother's children. You've been watching the wrong Israelite group. Now, after that, I answered back and I said, did you cleave to Esau to be a servant here in America? That's one of the stupidest doctrines ever. They teach you that so they can say, quote, see the other nations can have salvation too, end quote.
Whatever Israelite group is saying that, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gonna kill their ass. Anyway, Shalom. You can watch the rest of this. Shalom. So we got to get this straight. If he ain't watching the video that I'm making right now, let him know that the Israelites in Acts 2 and the Israelites in the Gentiles in Acts 13 are two different groups of people. The Gentiles in Acts 13 are Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites. The Jews in Acts 2 are Israelites that knew that they were Israelites. Two different groups of people. So anyway, with that, Shalom, on to the next.